If you're searching for tickets to the upcoming home game, visit the ticket booth or the team's website for availability. The National Basketball Association and the Minnesota Timberwolves are committed to a safe and enjoyable sport experience. These are more actions to avoid any excessive behavior, such as fighting or rebellion.
Hi, everyone. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Taking a look at Minnesota. Things going their way so far in this season. Right now, they lead the pack up front in the first spot with the best record. And, of course, the Mavericks. Not in the same realm right now in terms of their record.
And, you know, for the Mavericks, they're a team searching for a way to take a leap forward this season. So far, here in the early going, that leap has not existed.
Yeah, it hasn't been all bad, though. I mean, they've had some nice wins, and even if they're not an elite-level team, they still have the look of a playoff team.
So with Lillard on the bench, here's the five for Jason Kidd right now. The star backcourt, Doncic and Irving are the guard set. Then there's Zach Collins. And it's Robinson Earl in at the power forward position. And for the Timberwolves, LeBeau Stanton will be Towns and Reed. Goose out there with Dillingham. And it's DeRozan in at the small forward position. And looking at this game in terms of the NBA Cup, there are major implications here tonight.
Yeah, both these teams come in at 1-0, and with just 4 games in the group stage, the difference between 2-0 and 1-1 is massive. I'm sure that's not a fact that's lost on either of these coaches. And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
Here's Coffey. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game.
Gets in the paint and drains it. Kyrie Irving, show off that touch.
The Timberwolves have gone 2 or 3 here to start off the game. Out left to the wing. Here's Cox. Offline with his 3.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Over in the corner, Doncic. From outside, off the mark. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Here's Cox. Makes a fantastic move and nails the shot. Cox has got 6.
All right, defensively now, you've got to find a way to slow this guy down because he's putting it to you.
Here's Coffey. DeRozan defending. Here's Doncic. Here's Robinson Earl. Good. The assist goes to Doncic.
Listen, we all know Luka Doncic can score, but equally impressive to me is his playmaking ability.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. Now that we're around the midway point of this NBA Cup stage, here's a look at how the standings are shaping up.
Yeah, it's been a really fun tournament to watch, especially when you see just how much the fans get into it, and we've still got a number of games to go.
You know, Doris, every so often there are guys that come along that you can build a franchise around, and Luka Doncic seems to be one of them.
There's no question, Kevin, and if I were putting a team around Luka Doncic, I'd want to have multiple vertical threats at the rim and shooters at every other position, because at that point, Luka is unguardable.
And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure. And on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you can see how impressive that move was. Here's Robinson Earl. After the basket by Minnesota. Fires for 3. It's hauled in by Karl Anthony Towns. Minnesota's gone 0-2 from deep pool. Here's DeRozan. Mavericks with the rebound.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there before the deep ball.
First team foul.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. And now we've got some time to check in from the sideline. You got for us, DA?
Thanks, Kevin. Goose, in their last matchup against Los Angeles, was a man on a mission. contributed 51 points and worked hard on defense, recording a number of blocked shots and steals as well. Those are eye-popping numbers he put up. Couldn't possibly top that tonight, could he? We'll find out together. Kevin?
All right, David, thanks. It's going to be interesting to see how he follows up that performance.
Yeah, he was the driving force behind that victory, but each night comes with different challenges.
What you love about this guy, though, is even when the defense adjusts to what he's doing, he'll make an adjustment right back. He is always ready with a counter.
And stolen by Dillingham. And let's catch up now.
That's a great feed by Cat. Those assist numbers have improved big time over the years.
1:41 left here in the first quarter. Now, here is Irving. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game. Coffee misses the three. Timberwolves have gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. The alley-oop layup, very well done.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. Outside Irving. 1:07 left to play in the first. Here's Coffee. Hasn't made one yet. Just 5 on the clock. Doncic way outside. Dallas again missing.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Here's Dillingham. And the layup is good.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Doncic passes to Coffee. 34 seconds left in the first. Irving from long range. Good on the triple. Irving's got 5 now.
Unbelievable release from Kyrie. Boy, shot ready on the catch.
Inside. Here's Cox. Puts the move on. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on Luka Doncic.
When you allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert is checked in for Reed. Williams comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And Simmons subbed in for Dillingham. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Royce O'Neal's checked in for Collins. Dawkins comes in for Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. Porter's checked in for Amir Coffey. And Damian Lillard subbed in for Kyrie Irving. That concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. Timberwolves. Now the Timberwolves with it. They're on a 12-4 run. Norris with Nowitzki and Doncic. The Mavericks have gone from one great European player to another.
And you could tell the one year that Luka got to play with Dirk, Kevin, he absolutely loved it. He got to learn from a Hall of Famer and a champion. What better way to start your career?
On the floor for Dallas, they've got Porter, Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Kyrie Irving. Then it's O'Neal, and it's Lillard into the point guard. Here's Cox. On the score by Damian Lillard. Simmons on the pick from Cox. Pass to Williams. Here's Cox. Three-pointer. Lillard with the rebound. And here's Irving. O'Neal trying to break free. And here is Simmons. Here's Cox. The kick out to Williams. Towns the pass to Cox. And there's the dunk to finish it off.
Love seeing a point guard who can explode to the rim like that.
Oh, great attitude and even a better finish.
Boy, it's incredible how much explosive scoring ability can come from the lead guard position. That is a big-time play. Well, after a less than stellar start in the first quarter, you like to see that shot go down.
Cox, no good. Mavericks trail by 9. To the inside. Here's O'Neal. And the dunk by O'Neal.
strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Where was the defense? No help. You can't afford to give up these kinds of buckets.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, Kyrie Irving has teamed up with Luka Doncic. Kai says he's a winner. I'm a winner. We like going against the best. That's where we connect. It's about how we galvanize the rest of the group. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. I've failed and succeeded at the highest level. And I want to get back to that place. Kevin?
If anybody can do it, it is Kai. Title or bust. Thank you, D.A.
Boy, when these bigs like Karl Anthony Towns show off that power, you've got to love it.
Minnesota making some changes. Gobert checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. DeMar DeRozan comes in for Williams. And Dillingham subbed in for Simmons. And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Zach Collins checked in for O'Neal. Jeremiah Robinson-Earl comes in for Hardaway. Amir Coffey's checked in for Porter. And Luka Doncic subbed in for Lillard. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Get out of his way.
No way the D is going to slow him down. The three for Doncic. Doncic sticking it from way outside.
Listen, this guy has off-the-charts basketball IQ. Luka Doncic understands when to get into that pull-up game.
Reed with a screen on Doncic. Cox the pass to Reed. Off the left rim and out. And it's Irving with the ball for the Dallas Mavericks. 9-point game. They host the Clippers after this game. That game is the first and last of their homestand. 56 seconds left here in the second. Robinson-Earl, no good. Minnesota's gone 3 of 5 beyond the arc since the start of the second quarter. DeRozan passes to Cox. Here's Dillingham. Covered by Irving. Pocket 6. Fires the 3. Dillingham, no good.
And I think that one could have easily have fallen for him.
With his first shot attempt, Minnesota with the rebound. Their last win put them into double digits with 10 in a row. Wow, quite a stretch.
Well, this is a basketball team that's really humming right now. And what you love is they're working together as a unit, which makes it fun to watch. What I'm curious about here is when teams start to adapt and take away their best strategy, how do they keep the streak going? Really, really interested to see how this plays out.
Now the Mavericks moving it up. Wide open look. Buries the jump shot. Doncic has got 14 points for the game.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
That'll do it for the first half. Timberwolves ahead, up 8. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter.
Yeah, what do you think about the trade for D'Angelo? He's talented guard with the shoot-first mentality, but I like he's trying to get the others.
And looking back at the first half of this game, it's likely we'll see some adjustments for the Mavericks.
Where's the intent?
And that concludes.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. We've seen a tremendous game from Goose.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
The post tandem will be Towns and Reed. Dillingham is out there at Goose, and it's DeRozan in at the 3. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. And you know, Greg, we're seeing so many teams utilizing the dribble handoff.
And it really forces the defense into a bad spot, can create situations where the offense has an advantage, and then it allows you to kind of seek out the matchup.
Now, here's Doncic. Teardrop shot. Nice D from Cox. Outside, Towns. Timberwolves passing it around. Reed with a screen on Doncic. Pass to Reed. Lets the three fly. And it's Luka with the rebound. Mavericks trail by 10. Picked off in midair. Cox, the pass to DeRozan. Here's Cox. Guarded by Doncic. And he trains the three. Good looking shot there from Cox. Cox has got the lead up to 13 now for Minnesota. Pass to Coffey. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Collins, good.
We're real. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
And you would expect nothing less from these two, taking pride and making plays.
Now here's DeRozan. Still yet to score. And a chance here now to take a look at the teams that are tops in the league in scoring points off turnovers. The Timberwolves, number 1.
And all those points off turnovers have been a huge bonus. I mean, that aggressive defense has also paid dividends at the offensive end of the floor.
On the wing, Irving. He's got 7. Now, Doncic. 5 on the clock. Robinson Earl, the pass to Coffey. Irving misses. Timberwolves leading by 11. Pass to Cox. Picked by Reed. Throws it up high. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Oh, my goodness. A big target at the cup. The vertical threat that is Naz Reid.
Mavericks have gone 1 of 3 since starting the second half. Back to Doncic. Doncic going to work.
Well, offensively, this guy has been cooking. They're definitely not losing because of him.
It's hard to believe, but Luka Doncic is still in his mid-20s. Doris, does he even have a ceiling?
That is the question, Kevin, and I'm not sure he does, because in the first part of his career, he's been all-NBA consistently, and we're talking first team multiple times. He's averaged over 30 in a season. I don't think there is a ceiling, Kevin.
Williams, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. For the 3. It's rebounded by Dallas. Robinson Earl's got 5 rebounds tonight. Pass to Doncic. Here's Coffey. He's guarded by Williams. Tries it from the top of the key. They get it back. Doncic. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. Doncic has got 4 points this quarter.
And all the ways Luka Doncic could score. If he gets to the offensive window, look out.
To the left wing. Cox, the pass to Reed. To the paint. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
And the Mavericks with some changes. Porter comes in for Jeremiah Robinson Earl. And Lillard subbed in for Kyrie Irving. Doncic with it. 18 points for him. Pass to Lillard. Doncic dishes to Lillard. Off target from three-point range. Timberwolves lead by 12. Here's Cox. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Just rubbing it in their faces with that now.
He is never going to take his foot off the pedal.
Well, you love that he wants to wear out the defense. What a catalyst for his team. Incredible.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, if you want to win, of course, playing both ends of the floor is essential. Former Defensive Player of the Year Draymond Green says, we've seen teams for years make the mistake of thinking they can put a great offense out there and win. You run up against a team that's just competent offensively, but they play defense, you're going to lose. Kevin?
Got the 1-2 punch as Draymond talks about. Man, that is something tough to get by. BA thinks. Gobert can't hit.
And the timing just not there on that attempted alley-oop.
Just a missed connection, and it happens. I'm sure they will go back to it if given the opportunity.
Substitution on the court.
On the floor for Dallas, we've got Damian Lillard. He's out there with Kevin Porter. And it's Irving at the 4 spot. And Towns gets it to go.
Now that Towns is rolling, boy, you just deliver the ball on time and on target, he will do the rest.
Pass to Irving. And it seems a new era is upon us, GA. A lot of young stars and young teams vying for the status of household name.
Kevin, the casual fans might have to update their frame of reference, right? Especially since a lot of these new stars are playing in smaller markets.
To the middle. Here's Towns. And Towns throws it down.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agree. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Outside Holiday. There's a screen from downtown. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Here's Cox.
Clearly a foul.
Holiday. First personal foul. Second team foul. At the line.
And he knocks down the first one. And some changes here for the Mavericks. Collins checked in for Kevin Porter. And Amir Coffey is subbed in for Aaron Holiday. And those advanced numbers, Doris, they show Rudy Gobert is historically great.
Kevin, I love that you are an analytics lover, but for me, it's about the eye test. Rudy Gobert has won the Defensive Player of the Year on more than one occasion. He's played on winning teams, and he's been an integral part of their success. He is one of the all-time great defenders we've seen. Well, deliver the pass where your teammate can do something with it. Nice.
Timberwolves leading by 19 points. Here's Cox. Outside for Simmons. Here's Cox. Covered by Lillard. And he gets it to go. No problem on the 3 from Cox. Cox has got 5 points now in the quarter. And so Lillard will bring it up for the Mavericks. Outside Collins. Pass to Coffey. And they come right back with their own 3-pointer.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, that 3-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
Cox, the pass to Gobert. Outside for Simmons. Timberwolves passing it around. Here's Cox. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And it seems each season more things can be subject to video review. Are you a fan of that, Greg?
You know, I'm a fan of keeping the game moving. I'm not sure I'd get rid of review, but I sure would like the league to find a way to speed them up.
Takes the turnaround Jay. Mavericks with the rebound. Robinson Earl's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Here's Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
Now, this is what separates Karl-Anthony Towns from other players his size. That quick first step to get to the drive game.
Pass to Robinson Earl. Back to Doncic. Now, here is Irving. Down low. That's good from Doncic on the assist by Irving. And that's now 20 points for Luka Doncic. Here's Cox. Jacks up a 3. Knocks down the 3-ball.
My goodness, what a move there to lose the defender. Got him on his heels, and then he made it look easy from there on in.
The 3 for Doncic. Drops in the tray. Doncic has got 9 points here in the second half.
I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
And the basket by DeRozan.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for Minnesota.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in there about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And this will be their third win in 3 tries against these guys. They match up so well.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Goose.
This guy putting on a passing clinic. If you want to know how to run an offense, roll back the tape from this evening.
Near the three-point line, it's Doncic. Pass to Dillingham. And again, Minnesota will turn it over. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Reed. Grant Williams comes in for Towns. Williams, he's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Ben Simmons in for Dillingham. Irving from long range. Rebound by Williams. Here's Cox, guarded by Doncic. Pass to Williams. Outside, Simmons. Here's Cox. Stolen by Collins. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here.
Keep it up, MP.
A lot of our fans in the house tonight. Should be a fun one.